When we would go on these long West Coast road trips, Larry would always announce to the Boston Globe before we left that, okay, it's a 7 or 8 game trip, we're going to win them all, I'm going to average 42 points, 21 rebounds, 13 assists. And then he would go out and do all this.
Suns by 2, they throw to Bird, here comes Bird, puts it up, counts the bucket, we're tied at 104, and Bird will go to the line for his 51st point.
And at the end of one of the trips, we had accomplished every goal. We hadn't lost a game on the trip. And Larry told all of us players, and the media too, we were all standing around waiting to leave, he said, tomorrow night's the last game of the trip, I'm going to play this one left-handed at least through 3 quarters.
What a performance by Bird!
And at the end of 3 quarters, the next night in Portland against poor Jerome Kersey, he had 27 points left-handed, and it was a remarkable performance.
For Celtic fans, Larry Bird had come to represent not only excellence, but hope. There was a feeling that no matter how bad things looked, as long as Larry was there, everything was going to turn out all right in the end. But that belief in Bird would be severely tested in the 1988 playoffs against the Atlanta Hawks.
Atlanta had these young guys, and they were athletic, and the Celtics were old, and they weren't the team they were a couple of years ago, and you sort of had a feeling that that was going to be the beginning of the end for the Celtics.
The Hawks were led by their superstar, Dominique Wilkins.
Dominique was a gifted athlete. I mean, he was the human highlight film, and that was for real.
Leading 3 games to 2, the Hawks came within a basket of closing out the Celtics in Game 6.
They looked death in the face and dodged the bullet.
Well, they had their chance. You know, they had a big chance to beat us. I think now that we're going to come out and play like we did tonight, but we're going to be at home. And our shots are going to be dropping a little bit better, and we're going to be running a little bit faster. So I'd say Sunday's going to be a big win for the Celtics.
Basically, he was saying it was over. I thought we were going to win the game. I really did. I didn't think they could stop Nick in that game. I had that much confidence in him.
And for 3 quarters of Game 7, that confidence was rewarded. Wilkins! Wow. As Wilkins and the Hawks seemed on the verge of beating Boston. But in the 4th quarter, Bird would answer Wilkins' challenge.
Bird now cuts free. Putting Boston ahead. Here's Wilkins. And that's what they must have. Cuts free. Left hands in for the field goal. That puts the Celtics back on top.
Larry was torturing him on the offensive end, and Dominique was torturing me on when he had the ball. I said, Bird, don't, you got them all riled up now. I said, I'm having a hell of a time guarding them.
Mano duel, Bird versus Wilkins. Dominique hits a 3, ties it for Atlanta.
The 3 made in the left corner, I can still see that, was just a big shot that he didn't have any room.
3 for Bird. Larry Bird promised it, and he is delivering in this quarter with 18 points. In deep to Dominique. Wilkins responds. With Bird again pulling up. It's a duel. Put down your saber.
It just reached the pinnacle of their competitiveness against each other, and neither one would be denied.
It's Bird's turn. Comes up with a shot, and the Celtics lead it.
It was a special moment in sports where you see these 2 guys that were just making one more difficult shot after the other, keeping their teams in the game.
Well, who's going to blink first? And Dominique high off the glass.
Dominique actually scored the most points, but Larry Bird scored the big points down the stretch of that game.
Is this a critical trip for the Atlanta Hawks? This is a great defensive move by Bird as he steals the ball for the Celtics. Lead to Bird off the fake, improves his position, and the Celtics are up again. One way or another, Bird kills you.
I just knew that we had to stop this guy, but it was Larry Bird. We never did.
We sort of had a feeling that Atlanta might take over their role as the ruler of the East. And that afternoon, Larry just said, well, maybe you will do that, but you're not going to do it here, and you're not going to do it in my building.
Another defensive stop, a must here for the Hawks. Johnson gets it into Bird, and Wilkins is there. Bird comes free. Bird for the layup. You are watching what greatness is all about.
The moment when we absolutely needed it, he just took it upon himself to play as perfect as he ever played.
Wilkins had seen the best of Larry Bird, but 1988 would be Larry's last healthy season. And by 1991, age and injury had taken the best from him.
Larry Bird at this point in his career is now squeezing to the end. It's a ceaseless struggle to get healthy enough to play.
Bird and the Celtics entered the playoffs against the young Indiana Pacers and their brash leader, Chuck Person.
Look out, Person puts up the three. He's putting on a show. Go ahead, Chuck.
The series went to a fifth and deciding game in the Boston Garden. But Larry's back was hurting.
He spent the night at the hospital in traction, so he had to be in just unbelievable pain.
I remember walking in the locker room and I saw Larry before the game, and I said, "How you feeling?" "Well, I'm okay, I guess." Well, he wasn't okay. The guy could barely put his pants on.
But Larry was determined to be there for his team.
Let's see if they go to Person. There he is. Yes!
As Bird reached deep into his arsenal to counter Person's long-range barrage, the Celtics held the game even throughout a bitterly contested first half. But as the second quarter drew to a close, disaster would strike.
Bird had it knocked away by Samuels. Powers on the recovery. Bird is hurt. Bird is down, and he's hurt.
It was a thud when he hit that floor. You heard that boom. The breath went out of that building because they thought that, that was it.
He got rocked to the floor as he was going to get that loose ball.
When we went in halftime, he was in the training room. So nobody knew anything, and was he going to play anymore, or was he all done?
As the second half began with Bird in the locker room,
And then he lost it in the open floor.
the Pacers looked to put them away.
They know the leader is not on the floor. Someone needs to step up now for Boston.
The Celtics were in trouble. The younger, more agile Pacers definitely were in position to win that game.
And here comes Larry Bird.
Then all of a sudden, here comes Larry, and the Garden erupted. The savior was back.
Bird is on the bench. He's got the warm-up jacket on. Listen to the crowd.
I got the sense that the Pacers were stunned to see him there, and that they thought, holy shit, what's going to happen now?
Mid-court outlet goes to Bird. Bird spots up from 20. Switch! Reggie Miller's shot rebounded by Bird, who rips it down the road. And he is back in the ballgame.
From a psychological standpoint, having our leader back on the court gave us a tremendous adrenaline push.
Bird ahead of the field.
In his dramatic return, Bird gave the Celtics new life and added another chapter to his legend.
Larry fakes the shot.
So Larry Bird is answering the challenge put forth to him, and he's letting it all hang out today.
The fans at that point wouldn't let the team lose because of what Larry was doing.
Bird has to hurry. 5 in the shot clock. The turnaround. Rainbow is all net, and he's going to the line.
You say to yourself, how many times does he drive that spike through your heart with shots like this?
But certainly this, out of the pages of Willis Reed.
Eclipsing even a Celtics victory, Bird's stirring performance touched all those who witnessed it.
I already had a lot of respect for Larry Bird, but the way he played today, it's just like the stuff you tell your kids about. And I told him at the end of the game, I've never seen anything like that.
Truly amazing, and it's courageous, and all those other things. And he's the leader. He is the leader of the Celtics, and he will be until he retires.